everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to the Werewolf Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. In the last chapter, the pack settled into the castle and adjusted to changes under King Elmer. However, the transition wasn't smooth for everyone. Harvey's bitterness at his brother's rule came out and Elmer declared him an enemy before ordering his execution. A new matchmaker named Lord Denny Spencer arrived to take his place in the pack. Afterwards, the pack held its first match with Lady Bella Goth and Lady Daisy Goth chosen to fight for breeding rights with the Alpha. Daisy won and conceived Elmer's first royal child. We are actually picking up at the royal graveyard because I figured now would be a good time for us to visit the area where our, fallen are going to be resting or put to rest. So we also have our horses with us this time around. This over here is our lovely new mare that we have acquired. She's a Shire horse. Her name is Star, and she is going to be the mate to Stone, who was born in Season 1. So this here is Stone. He is the only son, the only child of Twilight and Wizard, our original two horses. He is just so cute. He's got blue eyes, white mane and tail, and then he's got I think like a thoroughbred coloring, really. His face kind of looks closer to what his father's face looked like, that, just plain brown. But I don't know, I could be imagining things because I'm fairly sure he has the thoroughbred coloring of his mother. That chestnut with a bit of black. So there we go, that is him. And I'm actually really excited for Star because the previous horses we had were all more or less brown horses, whereas Star, she's beautiful, she's black and white, but she's got a bit of a interesting personality, guys, because Star over here is defiant, fearful, and energetic. So with the defiant trait, these horses tend to be more ornery when it comes to training and will develop skills more slowly. They also have a higher likelihood of failing horse jumps and barrels. What else? She's energetic. These horses are full of energy. They gain athletic skills faster but are slower to gain the temperament skill. And she's fearful. These horses are scared of everything and will often become spooked. Due to their fearful nature, it will take them longer to gain temperament skill. So she's going to be a very difficult one to work with. Hopefully, though, someone manages to befriend her, and that's going to make the process just a little bit easier. In comparison, Stone, I suppose they both have the defiant traits, interestingly enough. But Stone here is friendly. These horses love all things social. They're more likely to have positive social interactions, and he's needy. These horses need social interaction often. They'll frequently approach Sims in the hopes of getting their attention. I definitely feel like Stone's going to be the easy one to work with. His skills right now, he's got level 5 temperament, 3 agility, 2 jumping, and 2 endurance, whereas Star only has 1 temperament and nothing else pretty much. That's fine. We'll slowly work with her. Something I like to do is at least once per chapter get the Sims with the lowest kind of riding skill and have them take the horses out for a ride. So I'll probably get a move on. I actually have, I think, you know what? I might just get Denny and Ed to take the horses out for a ride because I want to work on some whims with Elmer and Daisy, which I don't know if I'll be able to at this point because the people that we invited have since left, which is not the greatest. So typically this isn't a problem that you have if you are on a generic lot, which is pretty much what I set all my lots to, but this graveyard lot is a bit special because we actually have the old match suitors living here. I mean, they have this little area underground that they all share, but we have our old match suitors pretty much living down here, and they tend to the graveyard. So this is I think a rental lot, like a multi-rental lot. Which unfortunately means that I cannot jump into build mode, which is a benefit you have with generic lots, and I cannot teleport a bunch of Sims over. And because none of the Sims in our groups own this lot, I can't summon them over either. But hey, that's fine. So this is the graveyard. I will be, with all the gravestones that I can find, be adding them over here. Now I think we may have just lost Wizard's gravestone as well, because he unfortunately died while he was not with us, unless one of the gravestones that's lying around, I don't think so though. I don't think one of the gravestones lying around belongs to Wizard, because Wizard was not, he was staying with the Wise Wolves, so in that situation, he might just be like Harvey, his spirit might be attached to the royal grounds. But this gravestone here actually belongs to Twilight, and then we have all the other Sims who died in the previous generation, including the Queen. I have headline effects off, so I can't figure out. I might have to. You know what? Let me just quickly put headline effects on, just so we can see whose gravestones these are. So we know that's Twilight's. And then we have Queen Julia Curse, Lord Ralph Land. He was Helen's fated mate. Oh yeah, he was murdered by, was it Harvey? I think he was murdered by Harvey at the end of the previous generation. So yeah, Edwin's father was murdered by Harvey. Lady Lily, Eternal, Third Kennel Master under Queen Julia. So this is the Sim I was talking about who tried to overthrow Julia, but she was killed by Elmer when Elmer was a child, because she killed Alfred, Elmer's older brother. Then we have Prince Alfred, firstborn of Queen Julia. His gravestone is here. We have Lady Catherine, Tails X. So something you guys will find out more and more as we play is the characters' last names do change depending on certain circumstances within werewolf society. So I should probably just hit this on play. But when we have two Sims that get married, then their last names do change to take on a part of their spouse's name. Now, because the only weddings we had were with the Alpha in the previous generation, the Alpha's last name does not change. It is the last name of their spouses that change. So the royal family, they are the Curse bloodline. So Catherine Tail, when she got married, she took on the SE of the Queen's last name and it became Tails. But then she ended up being divorced by the Queen later, and so her last name had an X added to it. So she's known as Tails X. And that, basically shows that you are no longer married to, or, you're a divorcee essentially. So there we go. And then we had Lord Benjamin Tail. This was Queen Julia's fated mate. He actually died quite early on from a freak accident. I think he froze to death. Lady Edith Times. This was the first matchmaker under Queen Julia and Julia's first wife, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, the Queen married Edith and Catherine on the same day. But then the day after, I think Edith, she died of hysteria. She was, the whole thing was such a mess. Everyone was really, her two wives were really jealous of one another. And then the next morning, the day after their wedding, Edith died from hysteria. And then we had Lady Rose Ranger, the first Kennel Master. She was poisoned to death, we suspect, by Edith, because Edith was actually quite possessive of the Queen. So yeah, there was a lot of drama that happened. And who is this? Oh, Ralph! It's Lord Ralph! I don't know why his ghost smells. I'm not... Oh, is that Twilight? It's Twilight's ghost, guys. Twilight, I am so sorry that we could not have a wizard with you, because, you guys spent your whole life together. It's really, really sad that we couldn't have a wizard with you guys. If I ever find his gravestone, I will definitely add it here. But for now, that unfortunately is not a thing. And I'm completely okay with us having Oh my goodness, I didn't realize this mailbox is here. You know what? I'm gonna have to dive into this particular lot later and like add a mailbox somewhere, because I completely overlooked that and then it threw the mailbox in such a weird place. So I'm gonna have to fix that because that's just, no. Can I don't think I'd be able to delete this. It's just gonna like generate it. I mean, I could, but it's just gonna regenerate it when we come back to this lot. I'm gonna have to fix it at some later point. Hiya. Anyways, Denny, you have no writing skill, whereas Ed has 3. So let me actually get you. It is cold. I normally get them to go riding while they have their armor on because I think it looks so cool. But I do realize that, unfortunately, they could end up freezing to death, so we don't want that. Now, he has a lower relationship with Star, so I'm actually going to get him to go riding with Star if possible. This might be a bit of a difficult situation for them, but it's okay. I'm going to try and just repair this object, help these guys out a little bit. And it is also King Elmer's birthday in this chapter, guys, so he is going to be aging up into an adult? Yeah, that's pretty huge. He's gonna be aging up into a flippin' adult, which is just mind-blowing. Okay, I think we can turn off headline effects now. Right, let's go on up. You start with your horse riding, and then we'll send, I think, Ed? Yeah, we'll send Ed as well. Because I had notes for Daisy and for Elmer. Now, I might still go through their notes and just fulfill the notes off camera, even though it would have been nice to do that with everyone here. I might wait it out. I might just wait it out because I think it would be good to see those interactions. Okay, Star. Are you going to cooperate, honey? Are you going to cooperate? Okay, look at how cool she looks. She's got this really cute flower on her tail. She's got blue and tan bridle and saddle, which I think looks so cute. But let's go for a relaxed ride. And it's snowing! Yeah, it's become freezing all of a sudden. Oh, she's so scared of everything. She's gonna be difficult to ride. But it's okay. I think they make a good match, these two, don't they? And one's got a black coat, one's got black hair. Really, that's all it takes these days to make a good match. I get really excited with Sims who look similar to the horses, or who have like a similar like clothing swatch or armor swatch to the horses. I think it looks really cool. So okay, so he's gonna go ride. He's gonna ride our scared but precious Star in the snow, and then Ed, I'm gonna get him to ride Curse. So let's come here. Okay, he's gonna go ride Curse. Excellent. And in case any of you were wondering, is it Ed? I'm pretty sure. So Ed here, guys, is actually the son of Lord Earl. So this is Lord Earl. If you haven't watched season 1, you guys probably will have heard his name a few times, especially in the last chapter. So Earl here is the werewolf who ripped Elmer accidentally from his reality and pulled him here and then swapped out the original Prince Elmer we had with that other one. So he chucked our Prince Elmer into a different dimension and he pulled the other dimension's Prince Elmer into this one. So the werewolf that we were talking about, this is the guy right here. So he is Ed's father. So there is some interesting connections here between the characters. Okay, let's go on out. And then this guy, he, Lord Michael, he was Harvey's father. And his sister is Lady Ada. So he and Lady Ada are related, but they have different mothers. So, you know, they're half siblings. And Michael was actually a bastard child that Ada didn't know about until she became a matchmaker and her family forcefully sent Michael to the royal pack to participate in one of the matches. And I think he lost a few, but he ended up winning one of the matches that was for breeding rights over the alpha, and then he ended up fathering Harvey. Okay, you go for a relaxed ride as well. Okay, there we go. There we go. Nice! Okay, so he's gonna take Stone out for a ride. I didn't end up giving Star any of like the socks because Star has feathering on her, like, you know, ankles over here. And I just thought it was, I think it's called feathering when horses have, I'm not entirely sure, I think it's called feathering when horses have hair like down there, near the hooves. But I thought that looked really, really cute, so I gave her the flower instead. Look at the way he's riding, and then look at the way, okay, it's very similar. It's very similar. Ed has a tad bit more experience than him, but really not much. Not much. Okay, these two, they can go on their ride, and Daisy, can we actually call over Vivian? I doubt she's gonna come because it is a really wild time in the middle of the night, and I just feel like nobody's actually gonna be bothered to attend. Yeah, she's sleeping. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to basically get Elmer's birthday event set up, probably back at the castle, and then I'll be able to call over everyone we need, and we'll do the notes, and then we'll have his birthday. We'll get him to blow out the candles, you know, age up. We'll give him a makeover. It'll be grand. It'll be grand. It's Sunday afternoon. We are back at the castle, and I feel like now is a good time for us to go through some of the notes that we have before we have Elmer's birthday. The cake is already ready in the kitchen. We'll have a quaint gathering with, you know, the royal court, and then we'll just have him blow out the candles, and I can go ahead and do his makeover. But the first note we have here is with Daisy. So Daisy, guys, wants to chat with Vivian and share her experience of the match. She knows the Kim sisters will be curious about it and that the Goths probably wouldn't be in the mood to bring it up in Bella's presence. Daisy also wants to warn Vivian that her relationship with the others might not be the same after this. We've already seen her. She's talked to Josephine, she's talked to Cassandra, but Bella and her, they are very bitter over the match that happened. I think it's mainly on Bella's side. Bella probably feels very, very upset that she lost, and I think, you know, being bred into the royal pack, especially if your family sent you there, it's such a huge thing of honor that the werewolves who lose take it very, very badly, and, you know, there ends up being bad blood between the people who fight, the werewolves who fight. So that's unfortunate, but let's go and find Vivian. Where is Vivian? Okay, she's all the way down here. So actually, let me just cancel out your interaction, and then you can go to Vivian. Otherwise, you are going to be busy doing who knows what. Same thing for Vivian. Okay, let's get you guys to be friendly with each other. Why don't we share some ideas? Yeah, she's gonna share ideas about the whole ordeal, and probably even, you know, what happened afterwards, the whole process of that. She's probably gonna share it so that the Kim sisters have some experience as well. Obviously, you know, both families, if you think about it, you'd think that both families are in competition with each other because it's the Goths and the Kims who are sent. by their parents, but then again, none of the Kim sisters got chosen by the new matchmaker. It was, both goths. And I don't think Josephine and Cassandra are going to want to rub it in Bella's face. So they're probably steering clear of any discussion regarding it. We were friendly, weren't we? I swear we were friendly. Give her a heartfelt compliment, maybe. And then I will consider it done. I will consider that done. Surely that should count. That should count. What about a chat? Just like a... Is that part of a check-in? I don't know. We did chat, though. So anyways, I'm going to consider that done. And then you feel free to do whatever the heck you want. The next note I had was with King Elmer, who is out here just lounging away because he is actually quite lazy. Some of you are actually saying that maybe Elmer isn't like his first act of, executing Harvey. Maybe that wasn't him being strong. Maybe that was him pretending to be strong. Because we all know that Elmer, he started off as a very promising child and teenager, but as a young adult, he became lazy, a bit arrogant. I don't know if it's arrogant, maybe cocky, too self-assured at how great he was doing, and then he kind of started living off the reputation he had in his youth and not putting nearly as much effort in as he used to. So maybe he's kind of realized people's opinions of him because some of the ladies had started talking by the end of the last generation. He proved them wrong in the end because, he was strong enough to become alpha, but maybe he feels as though he has to lay down the law a little bit tough from time to time just to remind people that he is in power and, even though he likes to lounge around, not to mess with that. Like, don't take advantage of him, basically. Anyways, the alpha guys wants to flirt with Bella and comfort her for losing the match, which kind of interested me quite a bit. Even though Daisy won the privilege of carrying his child, he can't get over Bella's beauty. One day he'd like to see a daughter of his born from Bella and wants to encourage her from now. So there we go. Bella, obviously, being one of the most beautiful females, like she-wolves from this batch, he just can't get her out of his mind. The werewolves have a process for how these kind of things are done, so it doesn't matter what he thinks. He doesn't get to choose. None of the male wolves get to choose, who they get to breed with. If anything, the matchmaker narrows it down, and then it's up to the strongest she-wolf. So, things happen the way things were supposed to happen, but they still can develop affections for someone. And for him, very much his eyes are on Bella. So where is Bella? Let's go find her. I feel like he's probably the first one. Oh, geez, Bella. He's probably the first one who will have brought this up with Bella. I feel like news would have spread that she didn't do well, that she failed, obviously, because they would have heard news of Daisy's pregnancy not too long after. But I don't think... Oh, here, this is Helen, guys. This is Helen. I keep mistaking Helen with Josephine because Helen used to have hair the same length as Josephine before, I think. She had very similar, not the same one, but she had very similar hair to Josephine. So I keep mistaking them from the back, but now she has like really short hair. And yeah, this is her. She's actually very pretty. She looks like a doll. She is Edwin's mother, the previous kennel master. Okay, we'll go on down, we'll talk to Bella. But yeah, like I was saying, I think the others would have been too... Like, they would have known that Bella's on edge, and they wouldn't have wanted to ask or bring anything up. But obviously, Elmer is, the alpha. He can talk about whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Plus, the whole reason she's upset is because she missed out on this chance to breed with the alpha. So he's gonna go, he's gonna comfort her, he's gonna encourage her to not give up. And oh my goodness, this is so cute, Stone. This is so cute. Where's, okay, she's out there. Star hasn't come inside. She's been wandering, like, outside the royal grounds. Stone's already made himself comfortable. He's, like, running around here and there, doing his own thing. Where did Bella go? I don't know where Bella went. Don't come inside. Don't come inside. He's trying to come inside. Okay, where the heck is Bella? Bella? I don't know where she went. Oh, she's out here. Okay, come on outside. Let's throw in a flirt. Okay, here we go. So they're gonna interact with each other for a bit. And I will jump back in really quickly. Okay, so my parents stole me away to have lunch with them, and it has been, I think, 6-7 hours since I left off, so I'm not entirely sure what the heck we were doing, but we are going to lay down a flirt with these two, unless I've already done that. I don't entirely know, but I mean, it's okay. So let's get Elmer to do this flirtation before we head off. I think I already talked through why this is happening, but Bella is possibly one of the most beautiful females that, yes, okay, we did the flirt. For some reason it is not registering, but we're just gonna ignore that. She's one of the most beautiful she-wolves that is here in the current batch, and Elmer, our king, has definitely noticed that. So even though she lost, he's trying to encourage her to keep her spirits up, because you never know, she might end up mothering one of his future pups. So there we go. He's definitely developed a sort of liking towards her. But now that they have, sent some flirtatious lines in each other's way, we are going to rush him up here, if possible. I know you probably want to interact with one of the horses, but can we just go back to the kitchen, because we want to make a wish and blow out the candles. He is going to be aging up into an adult, guys. He is going to be aging up. And it is wild because he does not have any children thus far. You know what? Another thing that one of the comments kind of touched on was our generations being longer or shorter, depending on when these alphas come into power, which I really like, to be honest. With the vampires, them being immortal, we kind of had a similar length of time we spent with each generation, whereas the werewolves, it's not the same, they age. And because they age, sometimes we're going to have a shorter season and sometimes you're going to have a longer season, depending on how young or, old they are. Elmer's not that old, but it's literally been a chapter and is aging up into an adult. And as we know from season 1 or generation 1, oh, look at these two getting all romantic. I guess, I don't know who approached who, but I guess Ed has stopped avoiding Eugene, I suppose. Like I was saying, as we know, we have until Elma becomes an elder to kind of get things underway. Basically, as soon as the alpha becomes an elder, the succession begins. The royal werewolf succession begins. There is no end, if, or buts. We have to get the succession done underway, regardless of... Oh, okay, there we go. He aged up. Regardless of how many children we have or what their ages are, everyone has to participate in the succession as soon. And you know what? We have been sticking to swords, obviously, because teenagers and, the adults can do sword fighting. But if we go into succession and we have, like, a child, if they're still members of the household, like of Generation 3, daughters who are children, we are going to switch from sword fighting to archery because all life stages or ages can do archery. We'll have to see how it goes, but that's my plan. That is my plan for if we get into that situation. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I am going to give Elmer a makeover with my werewolves, especially, just the immediate household members, or our main cast, I should say, our main cast. I will give the main cast makeovers at every life stage, basically. And it's going to be nothing too drastic, except for, maybe hair for the females, makeup, and usually color swatches for their outfits, just to freshen things up and say that maybe they had some new clothes tailored for them. They have kind of a new aesthetic going on for a new life stage. So let me go ahead, do all of that, and then we'll be right back. I have finished King Elmer's makeover as an adult. We are gonna take a close-up of his face, and then I'll quickly go through his new swatches in the rest of the outfits. Guys, I think, in my opinion, his adult self is probably his best self that we have ever seen. And then I would rank his teen life stage after that, and I think he probably looked the worst in his young adult stage. So he's had a massive glow up. That is just my opinion. But he has this kind of mint and light pink theme throughout most of his outfits for now. I really, really like the change in his hairstyle and facial hair. I feel like it is doing wonders for him. Let me know how you guys feel about it, but I think he looks really, really good here. Look at that! And actually, the outfit, like the green, matches his eyes quite a bit too, and then the mint crystal he's wearing in his circlet. So I really like that. So this is his everyday, and then we have his formal outfit. We have the white armor for the Sons of Soul. So all our males have this armor color. That hasn't changed. It's been the same since he was a young adult. We have his sleepwear over here, his party wear, swimwear, hot weather outfit, which is the same as his everyday, and we have his cold weather outfit. So that is pretty much it for King Elmer. And I'm gonna show you guys really quickly his werewolf form, even though you guys know what it looks like from the intro, but I'll show it to you guys anyways. For those of you who haven't actually seen him transform in-game just yet. So this is Elmer's werewolf form. It is like a reddish brown wolf. And actually, also for our benefit, we'll get to do a close-up. So the royal werewolf bloodline eyes is brown. So this is the exact eye color that all the royal family members are going to be sharing in their werewolf form. So there we go. That's what we have for King Elmer Curse. We are picking up on Sunday night with a few notes. Before we do that though, I wanted to take a quick look at the calendar because it kind of hit me. Oh my goodness, we have literally this life stage before it is time for us to wrap Generation 2, which is one less life stage than we had in the previous generation, because our Generation 1 Alpha was obviously a young adult. But Elmer, already in Chapter 2, is an adult. So we have like half the amount of time. Anyways, Elmer is going to turn into an elder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 6 in-game weeks from now. So basically the middle of fall, the middle of autumn, is when he's going to become an elder, and as soon as he becomes an elder, whatever stage the pack is at, a royal succession is going to begin, because as soon as the royal succession is over, Elmer is going to succumb to his bloodline curse, and he is going to be poisoned to death. So basically, with the royal family, there is a whole origin story, which if you guys are curious about, the premise, the context, the setup of this whole series, then I highly recommend checking out chapter 1 of season 1. Even if you don't want to watch the whole season, just watch that first video, because I cover all the important things you need to know to settle in, like the origin story and what the heck this curse is that the royal family is carrying. Basically, they are containing the curse in their blood, which prevents werewolves from being werewolves 24/7 and makes it so that they only succumb to rage and turn into their monstrous sides on the full moon. That's only possible because the royal family has taken the burden of containing the curse in their blood. And so over time, slowly, that curse poisons their blood. And one of the side effects is that they die quite early. They die a lot earlier than others. So the alpha, in particular, is never able to live through their elderhood. The alpha will always die as soon as the succession is over, which is why the succession has to happen as soon as they become an elder. So that is the time that we are working with. It would be ideal if we had teenagers by that point, but like I said, even if we have children, it is okay. Imagine if we had a child alpha. Who knows? You never know. But that is something that, we have to keep in mind, because things are a little bit different to how they were last time around. Okay, so we have our first note here with Daisy. So let me go ahead and check through this note of hers. Daisy wants to, hold on a second, flirt with Elmer and congratulate him on his birthday. It's a momentous time in the Alpha's life. This will be the prime of his reign before the pack is thrust into another succession. Daisy also wants to reaffirm her connection with Elmer before their child's birth. So we're going to go ahead and line that up for the two of them. Let's see. And you never know. These interactions could at some point lead to our Sims having weddings and such in the future. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting for one of our males to marry a she-wolf, because that's not something that happened in the previous generation. I think it'd be very interesting. But it would also be interesting if the males kind of married within each other. So okay, that interaction looks like it's gone through, and they do have a solid bit of romance. I'm just so sad that Elmer couldn't have a mate in his own generation. I don't know when he socialized with Ben. I'm telling you, I have no clue. They have never been in the same household. And literally, I must have jumped into one of these other households that I was setting up on the, royal grounds on this castle lot. I must have jumped into one of them to set things up, or, on accident, I loaded into one of the wrong lots. Because whenever I load in, I have to, finagle and find the room that the specific Sims belong to. Anyways, in that quick span of time, he must have somehow gone off the lot, socialized with Ben, and flippin' become fated mates with him. I can't believe it didn't happen on camera. I'm still upset about that. The other note, oh, look at these guys partying it up. Nice. Do we have the party prince here? No. The party prince is not partying? What? I don't know what Ed's up to. He's feeling playful though. Okay, so Elma, guys, wants to be friendly with Daisy and see how she's faring in her pregnancy. She's currently in her second trimester, and Elma can feel his anticipation to see the pack's first little pup under his rule. Time feels like it's slipping from him, but he also knows he has trustworthy werewolves to help him through. Obviously, we have some questionable family members. Yeah, he still feels very tense whenever he's flirting with someone other than Ben. Ugh. Anyways, we do have, all these family members that are going to be helping him. Or I was saying, we have questionable people like Charlie. who, I thought would get in trouble first before, Harvey did, because he just cannot contain his nastiness, his meanness. But he has a pretty good relationship with the alpha, which is really good. So that makes me happy. And actually, while Daisy's here, can we be friendly? Maybe ask to feel the baby. That would be cute. That'd be cute. Does that count as a friendly? Look at this. Look at this. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, that's adorable. Nice. So that did fulfill that interaction. I definitely feel like he would be anxious because of his age. This wouldn't have been such a crazy, chaotic situation if someone, like, in terms of age, I feel like Ed would have been the ideal. I actually wanted, I think, Ed or Edwin to become the alpha. Now, Edwin is not a royal, but if you watch the very end of season 1, I will explain, I do explain in that chapter to you guys how there is a way for non-royals to take on the bloodline curse, and then it does have an effect on the alpha. Basically, the side effect of them winning and not someone from the royal bloodline, they end up taking the alpha's curse and powers from them. And it makes them, I suppose, very, very strong, because they're not only taking the alpha's powers, they're taking the powers of all of the alpha's ancestors. So it doesn't affect any of the alpha's children, but they do take, the powers from the alpha and the alpha's ancestors. And so they become really powerful, but then the alpha becomes a human. They get changed from a werewolf to a human because the curse has been taken from them. Harvey! It's Harvey! So yeah, that's the side effect that happens, and it means that the new, dynasty is going to pass on the curse to their children as well. So I wanted Edwin or Ed to become the new alpha, and that would have actually worked perfectly with the ages. Ed would have been the most ideal because he turned into a young adult, I think, literally just after we finished the succession. He and Ada aged up into an elder, and Ed aged up into a young adult. So that would have been perfect time-wise. If we had Edwin or Charlie, because they're still teens. Edwin and Charlie are still teens. Oh, Edwin's a young adult. Wait, what? Okay, guys, Edwin's a young adult. That means Edwin needs a makeover. So I actually need to do his makeover. You know what? I'm going to go do that, and then we'll come right back and check up on him. I might jump into... Yeah, I'll probably go into Manage Wolves and into Cass for his household, and we'll take a look at his new swatches and his new styling. He's going to get facial hair as well, which he doesn't have because my teen males don't have facial hair. They get facial hair for the first time as young adults. So that is going to be exciting. But yeah, he would have been good as well because he just turned into a young adult. He was 18, I'm pretty sure, in chapter 1. So he would have also been ideal. We probably would have had the most time with Charlie, though, because Charlie's a teen as well. He was the youngest. And I don't know how much younger he is than Edwin, but we probably would have had the most time with him. He would have been a teen alpha. Anyways, with that, now that I've gone through the notes and we've seen Harvey's ghost, I think, guys, I'm telling you, Harvey, maybe he's just so obsessed with Elmer and his rivalry with Elmer that his ashes kind of got just, spread by supernatural winds all over the castle grounds, and now he stalks the castle halls. Oh, Harvey, terrorizing people, breaking things, being an absolute menace, essentially. Yeah, I think that's what Harvey's doing. This is how he deals with his grudge. But okay, let me give Edwin a makeover, and then we'll check up on him. I've finished the makeover for Lord Edwin Empire as a young adult. We're going to do a close-up of his face, go through his outfit swatches, and then have a brief talk about the trait he randomized, which is Loner. So this is Edwin. I think facial hair really does suit him, and it's nice to see him with his hair out of his face. Personally, I feel like he is styled a lot better now than he was as a teen. I just think what he has going on really suits him and his face. So there we go, this is him. It looks a little bit stern, definitely older and a bit more of an authority figure, which is good in a nurturing role, but he still looks friendly, so I do like that. Now this is his everyday outfit. A lot of his color schemes, they are like pale yellow and lilac, which it's soft and it's inviting, and I like that a lot. So we have his formal outfit, his athletic. So he had a different armor color as a youngster. He now has the white armor for the Sons of Soul, so he is in sync with the other males. We have his sleepwear over here, his party outfit, swimwear, hot weather, which is the same as his everyday, his cold weather outfit, and his trait Loner. So I feel as though, as a young adult, Edwin has finally come into, maybe not come into his own, but I think truly established his independence, and he's kind of on his own streak now. He's on his own pathway. Even though he ended up in a role he wasn't pursuing, or maybe wasn't aiming towards, I think he was better suited to becoming something like the Kennel Master. I do feel like Edwin knows that he is in a place to make a difference, a place of power, and reflecting on his own upbringing, he would want to be a little bit different to how his mother was. I think he would want to give the little girls, the pups he's going to look after, a good start in life, but encourage them to pursue their own pathways without being crushed, by the expectations of the people that are raising them. So growing up, his mother and father, there was a lot of conflict between them, and Edwin was kind of always pushed around by his mother, I feel, in regards to that. His father was really supportive, but then, towards the end of the previous season, he was killed by Harvey, but nobody knows about this. Nobody knows it's a murder. Everyone kind of thinks it was just an illness he had that he died of. So he kind of lost that really strong support system he had, and I think he doesn't want any of the kids to have that sort of void or gap in their life. He wants to kind of balance out potentially what might be a chaotic household that they're born into. So there we go, that is Edwin, and I feel as though we should take a quick look at his beast form so we can see his eyes. So with the Empire bloodline, they have the fire colored eyes. So this is going to be passed on basically to all of Edwin's children. And there we go, guys. That's what we have for Lord Edwin Empire. It is the early hours of Monday morning, and we are picking up with Daisy. I don't know why, but Daisy to me looks like how the original Cassandra Goth in The Sims 4 did. Am I the only one who sees this? Every time I look at her, I keep thinking she's Cassandra, and then I have to remind myself, no, she's just Daisy. Cassandra is someone else entirely. She keeps reminding me of the way Cassandra looked in The Sims 4 originally, before they, did the whole makeover for the Goth family. Anyways, Cassandra, guys, is off to a pretty dramatic start over here. Because Cassandra... No, not Cassandra. See, look at this. Look at this. I'm already calling her Cassandra. I mean Daisy. Daisy wants to become enemies with Bella because she's gotten wind of the Alpha's interest in her and she feels threatened. Daisy is worried that if Bella has Elmer's child in the future, he will favor that pup over her own. Perhaps this way she'll be able to maintain some dominance. Done. Already we have fights and arguments between the sisters. So where is flippin'? I mean, I get it. I understand. She's, pregnant right now. She's probably very, very hormonal and protective over her child. Like more so than she would be usually. Where is Bella? Where is Bella? Thankfully, neither of them, I think, is evil. Well, I don't know if Bella is, but I definitely know that she isn't. And to be honest, I'm not going to even worry too much about Sims who are outside of the household. But, right now, if Daisy was evil because she's in our household, I would have actually let her murder Bella. That could have happened. I just realized, oh my goodness, that means in the future, if we have an evil female and, she wins and we're in the same situation where she ends up hating the sister or the contestant, the rival. If she ends up hating the rival who loses and wants to become enemies with them, they could murder their rivals. They could. So that's kind of interesting. But let's get her to come down. She is going to... How do we want to do this? Maybe we'll ask what Bella's problem is, why she's trying to act all coy and not coax the alpha into taking a side, but bewitch the alpha. Maybe Daisy doesn't like the things that she's hearing from the other wolves. People are talking. People have seen Elmer with Daisy, and she is not happy in the slightest. Okay, well, yes, we do have a problem. We have established this, and things are not going to get any better. So she's going to insult her. Look at Bella trying to crack a joke over here. I'm sorry, Bella, but Daisy ain't having it. Daisy's not gonna have it. She does not like the situation she's in whatsoever. No apologies here. Let's throw a drink at her. And it's got me, thinking, what might be behind this insecurity of Daisy's? And I thought to myself, why don't we actually take a look at Elmer's kind of attraction to the two sisters, and just for us to compare. So Daisy, Elmer considers Daisy basic looking, guys. Basic looking. In comparison, he considers Bella to be very attractive. So obviously, Cassandra's gonna have... look, I'm doing it again. Daisy's gonna have... I'm so sorry, Cassandra, wherever you are. I might end up calling her Daisy. But Daisy, she, can sense that Elmer just seems a lot more smitten with Bella. Even though Bella lost and Daisy won, and by right, his attention and his affection should be on her. Already, if he's acting like this before the baby's been born, Daisy's worried that, if they both end up having daughters, if Bella potentially, we never know, but if Bella ever ends up having Elmer's daughter, he's going to favor that child because he favors Bella more, And then I got kind of curious about some of the others. So there's a bunch of Sims he does not know. So he currently does not know, who is it? He does not know Vivian. He has not met officially Vivian. He has not met, I think, Cassandra and Josephine either. But among the ladies here, he finds Dora attractive, right? So she's kind of mid-tier. And he finds Olivia very attractive. So I thought that was curious. Right now, I suppose, Bella is considered the most beautiful goth sister, and Olivia would be considered the most beautiful Kim sister, which is fascinating. And then I wanted to look at, Denny's the matchmaker right now, so I wanted to see what Denny felt about all of the females, so I want to do that too. how does he feel about all the other females? I want to know in terms of attraction. So he considers, oh, that's sweet. He considers Daisy to be attractive. He considers Cassandra very attractive. Bella very attractive. Josephine very attractive. So he thinks all the goth sisters are attractive, even though Daisy is, not as stunningly beautiful to him as the other three. But she's still kind of up there. He considers Vivian very attractive, Dora very attractive, and Olivia very attractive. I feel bad for Daisy. He literally considers all these females are very attractive, and then Daisy is kind of like a tier below them. That's just sad. But hey, Daisy is the most proactive because she, autonomously built a relationship with Denny and was chosen as one of the she-wolves for the first match. And then, using his strength, she defeated the extremely beautiful rival she had. So, I think Daisy's winning. Okay, so, wait, we haven't even finished. I'm sorry, we haven't finished. We have not finished, honey. We need to become enemies. This is not over until we are enemies. So let's go mock her. And I really like that we have this pool over here. It looks so pretty. It looks so pretty. Such a fancy pool, no? And it's covered as well, which is just wonderful. It's wonderful. Where did Bella go? Okay, you guys can sit here and argue with each other while your other two... Wait, are they actually your other two sisters? Okay, not the other two sisters. The Kim sisters, while they chat with each other. Okay, Bella, don't walk away, Bella. We're not done, Bella. We're not done. Let's jeer at her. We might have to start yelling and all of that. Okay, they need to put some distance between the two of them. Understandable. Understandable. Oh, there we go. Declare enemy. Okay, we can declare her our enemy. And two of the Kim sisters are going to bear witness to this. I wonder how they feel. Look at Olivia. Look at her face. She's probably so stressed seeing how, rotten the relationship between these two have gotten. She's probably wondering, oh my goodness, if I get chosen and one of my sisters gets chosen, is this going to be us? Are we going to be at each other's throats? Yes, honey. That is how serious this whole business is. Okay, next up, we have a note with Ed. So let me go through and see what we have here. Okay, Ed wants to stargaze with Eugene and finally talk about their relationship. After having some time apart, Ed has realized that freedom is just as important to him as being in love. He's willing to make their courtship work, but he doesn't want Eugene to revolve around him. So if you watch the previous season, you will remember that Eugene, in this particular relationship, Eugene was actually the one who was head over heels for Ed first. And then they found out, he just fell in love with Ed as soon as Ed became a teen. And then he approached Ed, and after approaching Ed, they found out they were fated mates, and then Ed kind of decided to explore, that side of things. Until that point, Ed wasn't even paying attention to Eugene. They were in completely different friendship circles. So I think there was a period of time where Eugene was just so utterly obsessed with Ed that it got a bit too much. And then when Ed got, some freedom, they had a bit of a break after Eugene aged up into a young adult. So the second half of Ed's teenhood, they had a bit of a break, and Ed was really enjoying the time he had to himself. And he kind of started avoiding Eugene and ignoring Eugene a little bit. Even though Eugene was constantly checking in with him to see how he was doing. I feel like he's thought things through, and he, still has very strong feelings for Eugene, and he still loves Eugene, but he doesn't want Eugene to just be obsessed with him. He wants Eugene to have other pursuits, have other things that he's focusing on and doing, so that Ed doesn't feel the pressure of being confined in a relationship, and he can still, enjoy himself, have the freedom to enjoy himself. So that's the page Ed is on. I suppose it's kind of good they didn't take too long before they kind of resumed their courtship. Is Ed coming down? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Okay, wonderful. So they, at least they get to resume things, and I'm really happy that everyone is on the same lot. I really like it. Okay. They had a deep talk. I'm going to consider that their talk. Excellent. And finally, let's move on to King Elmer. Hola, hello, Stone. Hello. Okay, where is Olivia, sorry. Olivia, darling. Okay, so I'm gonna get him to come here and be friendly with Olivia. We'll gossip about neighbors. Heck yeah, let's line this up, and then I can go through the note. Yeah, so drop the trash, let the others pick it up. You're the alpha, you don't necessarily have to. So Elmer wants to be friendly with Olivia and inquire about the Kim sisters. He's very familiar with the Goths at this point, but there's some mystery around the Kims. Perhaps Olivia will reveal the she-wolves' dynamics behind closed doors. He needs to be on a constant lookout for potential royal mothers. I think, as well as appearance, maybe, Elma might be thinking about the, personalities, the tendencies these she-wolves have, because that might be a factor in shaping the type of heirs that the pack ends up having, because the parent will play a part for sure in raising the child and influencing the child's behavior, the way they think, the way they do things, the way they reason. He knows that he had a lot of support from his own father, Roy. Look at his relationship with his father. It is, we can't see it here, but it's very good. He's got a very good relationship with his father. So I think he wants to see a similar sort of thing with the females and the offspring they'll be having. Contrary to the beginning of the previous season, we know now that all the females born into the pack are going to be potential heirs for the crown, whether they are of the royal bloodline or not. So, it's important for him to consider these things, because any one of those kids could be the future alpha. And in case I haven't already mentioned it, because I feel like I haven't, we do have a limit of 6 children, or 6 girls. So the amount of boys we have doesn't matter. They will be joining the Royal Guard. But we are looking to have 6 baby girls. So I will stop the breeding once we have the 6th baby girl born, regardless of whether we have a princess or not, because we are aware at this point that all children, like all the females, are going to be heirs to the alpha. So that is what is happening for anyone interested. I feel like every one of us is interested at this point when it comes to this, of course. Every one of us is interested. But okay, I think now is a good time for me to wrap up. When we come back next time, it is going to be super duper exciting, because we are going to have the first baby of the pack born. So I cannot wait for that to happen. And then we'll probably, straight after that, dive into our next matchmaking, our next breeding. So a whole bunch of exciting stuff is happening. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.